All right, what's up, everybody? We got another big show for everybody. We're going to be recapping Who's Number 131. We're going to be recapping ADCC Asian Trials, and we're also going to be previewing No-Gi Worlds. But I wanted to say that this show is presented by IM8, the all-in-one formula for fighters. Built for performance, trusted for recovery. Use code FLOWSPORTS for 10% off and visit im8health.com/FlowSports to get yours today. And now let's jump right into the episode. Back to the FloGrappling show, a.k.a. the worst show on the internet. As always, I'm Trey Robinson. We got Joey Gilbs right there. Big Uncle Reed right there. We kicked Slack Barrett out, dude. He's freaking gone, dude. He's off the show for good this time. I've had enough. No, I'm just kidding. Slack's kind of sick. I think he's at home. But on today's show, we're going to recap Who's Number 131. It all went down this weekend. We're also going to talk about ADCC Asian Trials. And then we're going to preview No-Gi Worlds a little bit. Where do you guys want to kick it off? Do you want to go straight into the draft results? I know you're dying to know, Reed.
Sure.
I know you're dying to know. So last episode, we did a draft.
I know I won.
Yeah. We'll see, pal. All right.
I know you didn't
I'll
win.
inherit, because I don't know. I'll inherit Slack. So
Yeah.
So if
Slack
wins, I'll celebrate like Slack wins.
Yeah, Slack drafted, but he wasn't here, so now he's going to get the spoils of Slack's draft.
It's like a new GM. When a GM gets fired, you got to inherit the team in the draft.
Exactly, yep. And I've been a long-time champion, you know. I've had a reign that's lasted as long as, you know, Genghis Khan himself, like, you know, that type of, you know, historic type of reign. And on this draft, honestly, I'll just say it right now. I threw it on purpose. I felt bad.
Oh, you did.
I felt bad. I was like, I gotta throw this.
Every reign has to come to an end, and that's where we are right now.
I was like, I gotta throw this, dude. Reed's threatening to quit the show behind the scenes. Like, he doesn't tell you guys this, but every day he's pulling me aside and he's like, hey, man, I don't think I'm gonna do the show anymore. And I'm like, what? No, dude, the fans are always saying they love Reed. So I have to lie to him essentially every day. You know, it's nuts.
Caesar wanted to get stabbed. For sure.
Exactly. Finally had enough. So I came in last with 6 points.
Yeah, you did.
It was a sub-hunters draft, so if they get a sub in the first, judges favor 5 points, second,
Are you embarrassed on your draft?
Not at all.
Looking back, you're a little embarrassed on it?
Not at all. I had a great draft. For my matches,
The fundamentals were solid. The results just didn't follow.
For the matches that happened that I drafted, every match was a submission. So, you know, no goose eggs for Big Trey. Yeah, so I drafted Helena versus Julia, Pato versus DeAndre, and Felipe versus Abe. Helena sub in the first judge's favor. DeAndre Pato didn't compete, so I don't know if this was Reed. He'd be like, "Well, at least give me 8 points for that one." At least give me...
No, we'll give you the replacement match of Oliver versus Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
0 points.
But I wouldn't have drafted it. But you know, I understand that's where I got to be. But if it was Reed, it's like, "Whoa, shouldn't I get at least like 15 points for that?" Because they didn't even.
This is revisionist history. That's not what happened.
And Philippe got last second submission for the 1 point. Slack drafted Gabby versus Paige, so 0 points. Grayson versus Michael Banich, that was like a 30-second submission, so that was the fastest. Yeah, so 5 points there. And then he drafted Nick Fritz versus Sean Magnus, also a first judge's favor, so that's 10 points. Now, here we go, Big Reed. The moment of whatever that saying is. Moment of truth. He drafted Philippe versus Luke. Great pick. Luke got it in the first judge's favors, 5 points. Jocelyn versus Katie went to the second judge's favor.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. Slightly after.
Only 9 minutes.
So you had to get it before 6 minutes on the clock. She got it at like 5:50 or something, or 5:20, something like that.
All right.
And Shanji versus Ferris, no submission. So Reed got second, and then Joe.
Party on him. I always believed in this team.
Yep.
I always believed that I was going to come in first place. I always knew as I drafted that this was the route to go. This was the way that we were going to win. We believed in the system, and the system paid off. Give me that.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Joe.
much. Thank you so much.
No one,
Really?
Again,
no one else I'd rather be passing that along to than Joe and Slack's team, I guess collective team. It's just, you know, these guys understand the sport. These guys work so hard studying the matches. There's just no one else who deserves it.
It's about putting in the work behind the scenes. It's
Like,
just really believing in the system.
This is like Gordon passing along the heavyweight belt to Luke, you know, just being like, not a guy I could trust more with it. So congratulations, Joe, dude. You couldn't deserve it more.
No, it feels great.
Reed, anything nice you want to say to
I wish
Joe?
that everybody would get to feel this feeling. Only certain people are born to be a champion.
Right.
But for right now, it just feels amazing.
Maybe say some nice words to Joe and Slack.
We got to check this math here again. A classic. Trace.
Did Harris let you down?
Yeah, Trey stacking the deck against me, as always.
Well,
Can I
Can
I feel it? Can
I don't think that's.
you jinxed yourself last time. You
I don't
touched
think
the
that's
belt.
for the best that you.
you
So funny. This is the result we're talking about first.
Well, this is the most important thing to happen. But of
course.
So there's the draft results there. Congratulations, Joe. You'll get to carry that until we do another draft. Reed's probably gonna be like, well, let's draft the favorite ways I like to fix my hair. Let's draft my favorite shampoos or something.
Honestly, I feel like I got a good
I'm
shot
gonna
at that these days.
draft your face off the floor.
Got him. Reed, dude, don't draft my face off the floor, dude. Come on.
Zoom in on this, Nikki. Can we get a shot of what this belt actually is for the people?
Yeah, I was trying to hide that a little. The quarterly
social monetization champion if you bring in a lot of social media money.
Yeah.
Get a nice little belt.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, don't snitch on us to like the greater powers at Flow Sports. I just stole that off someone's desk and was like, this is now our draft belt. So.
I've never seen them hand this belt out to someone.
Yeah, so
floats around the office.
I decided that was going to be our draft belt, so I kind of snatched that. Don't tell anybody here. If you're watching, this is just a little secret between us and you guys. All right, don't go running and tell anybody, get us in trouble. This is between us. Thank you guys. I know we can trust you.
One day, victory is going to be so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to dunk on Trey so hard.
New York Jets been saying that for about 30 years.
hey, they'll have their day too.
Yeah. The goddamn Jets, dude. You're the Jets of the draft? At least got to be the New York Football Giants, man. Come on.
No, I'm the Kansas City Chiefs of the draft.
Just kind of a lot of potential, but blowing it this year?
Maybe.
Having a tough year.
Just having a tough year, making all the plays, but it's just like it's a game of inches sometimes. So
okay, fair enough. All right, let's get into some actual W&O recap. We got to probably start it off with the main event, right? Luke Griffith and Felipe Pena. Obviously, a huge match. This is the third match in the trilogy. Couple big boys going out there for the heavyweight strap. It's been a while since it's been on the line. I think we got it rolling now if we could show it. But, going into this, when we get there, we get to start talking to the athletes, seeing how they're feeling and everything. Like, I thought Felipe seemed super, like, calm. He seemed prepared, Of course, Luke did as well. But there was just, like, when you're just looking at both guys, it's kind of like, ooh, Felipe feels, like, settled and, like, ready for this. Like, maybe Luke had a little more nerves, it seemed. But that's obviously not how it played out. Luke looked great. What did you guys think about this one?
Man, incredible performance. You've seen Luke get so close so many times, and he ends up taking the back and getting the win here in this match. And you feel great for Luke, just having seen him through so many trials and tribulations, getting close, falling short, getting close, falling short. But he came out here, and this is the best version of him we've ever seen. This is the kind of thing that we've seen Luke do to a lot of people. But this is Felipe Pena. This is not just everybody, right? This is not just some guy. And it was a beautiful finishing sequence. When he got to the back and like locked up the body triangle, there was a very real sense in my head of this is a critical moment in Luke Griffith's career. If he gets all the way here and still loses this match, he's never going to get over that hump.
Well, because the back take was essentially ADCC 2024 finals, right? Yep. Like, it was very similar. Like, once he starts getting to the back, he kind of has one hook. It's like looking like he could get the back. But then at ADCC, Felipe got out, turned the tables. Now Felipe wins. This time, he was able to actually fully secure the back, get the finish. So that was like kind of a crazy, like, parallel moment where it was like, this is very similar to what we saw, and Luke couldn't get it done. And now we're seeing it again, and he just would not be denied in this time.
Yeah,
a cool breakdown video. The difference between the two.
For sure.
Yeah. No, I definitely felt the tension. Beforehand at the press conference, the media day, and stuff like that. Obviously, Felipe and Luke were very civil, but like anytime they're around each other, even just talking to one another, it's like you could just feel kind of like there was a little bit of tension, and you felt it a little bit more from Luke's, because I feel like Luke was really feeling the pressure of like, man, I can't lose to Felipe a third time. That would, like you said, that would be kind of like detrimental to his career. And so I think that there was just a lot of pressure on Luke. Felipe is always kind of a little lackadaisical, especially in these media day things and stuff like that. Here's the kind of
he almost gets
setup
swept.
of the finish here.
I almost thought there was a clash of heads there for a second, but there wasn't. I've gone back and looked a few times.
And this is where, Gordon's always talking about that scrimmage wrestling and stuff. You could see where Felipe was trying to kind of sweep Luke, and in that in-between, Luke was able to kind of like wrestle up and take his back here. And I thought it was going to go off the mat for a second, and I didn't think that was going to be good. But Luke able to keep it on the mat here. And, obviously a lot of talk, a lot of controversy about this finish here. We can just watch it, obviously. It doesn't look fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is one thing I guess I wanted to get into. Should we get into this aspect of it, or should we kind of? I kind of want to look at
talk through the match.
Yeah, I want to look at the back take again, because or at least when they start wrestling up, does he like hit a slide by or something? How does he get to Philippe's back right here?
Yeah,
it's a little weird. It's like boom, and then now he's just kind of. I guess he kind of comes up like you would come up on a half guard with an underhook, right?
Yeah, it's
like
very much like a body lock.
Yeah, no whizzer, so I'm going to the back, kind of.
Yeah, it's all off that body lock, and yeah, Luke's always been a killer with this body lock, able to get to the back with it. All the Kingsway guys really are. Yeah, man, Felipe ends up turtling and bailing out, and then you see Lucas just all over him and able to spin with him and spin with him and spin with him, and then he locks up that body triangle. Once the body triangle's locked up, the rear naked choke follows. Incredible sequence.
Right whenever Felipe swept him, or at least off balanced him. Like I right here in live time, I was like, oh man, is he going to get into a bear trap from here somehow? You know, because it's like that's kind of been a lot of his success, especially against New Wave guys or Kingsway guys, you know, in the past and everything. And just something Felipe is so good at is the bear trap that I was like, ooh, if anybody can find a way to get into a weird bear trap and start making things kind of crazy here, it's Felipe. So at first, I definitely thought maybe this was going to play out differently in that exact moment, but Luke was hip to it, dude. He immediately took the back off of it. And this time he did not want to let Felipe out.
Yeah, and obviously he got to that position kind of similarly at ADCC as well. So you had to think that he's thinking in his mind, man, I cannot lose the back. I cannot lose the back here. And Felipe just has such good back defense.
Yeah,
you know, he almost does get out in the way he's kind of clearing the far hook. Like,
and this is only 3 minutes into the match too.
I wonder a little bit. Earlier in the match, there was that takedown as well, and I think it deserves to be said that was a really good takedown from Luke. I wonder if that was a little bit of Felipe accepting the takedown so he could just play guard, sub-only, long match. But I also thought Luke's wrestling looked incredible. Honestly, this is an incredible result for him, and now he's not just the WNO heavyweight champion, he's the #1 ranked heavyweight on earth, and he's going to be the favorite heading into the next ADCC, in all likelihood at least.
Incredible. But yeah, I guess, are you pulling it back to the...
yeah, here's that takedown.
Let's look at this real quick.
Yeah, it's like just a short little single leg high crotch kind of...
It just puts him right down off of it.
And Luke has so much success off the feet. So I thought kind of Felipe was going to kind of come out and just like pull guard immediately because Luke has so many attacks where he gets to the back off the feet. So I was a little surprised to see that Felipe was down to wrestle with him as much as he did.
I think he probably was just thinking like, let's exhaust him, let's get him tired, pull him the head.
Yeah,
it's hard not to make the comparisons about Felipe and Gordon whenever Felipe's fighting one of Gordon's main guys, you know. But like if you think about the Gordon matches, Felipe would always come out and they would do that very tall, like they would both just be standing straight up and down, kind of clubbing, collar tying back and forth. Like that's the kind of the way they kicked off the first like 15 minutes, it felt like, of their matches, you know. So maybe he felt like he was going to do a lot of that, but Luke kind of just went straight into some wrestling.
So killer back take here. Obviously, a lot on the line. You got the whole Kingsway team on the side here. It's in Austin, Texas. A lot of guys cheering for Luke and everything like that. So obviously, the place is going crazy when Luke's doing this here. And
let's talk about what happened after the match.
Yeah. So obviously, there's a lot of controversy going on online. And so I guess I want to ask you guys, like, do you think Luke went too far right here? Do you think he actually did something bad? Do you think, like, you know, everyone's freaking out about it. So it's like, I guess, what are you guys' thoughts on this? I'll give mine as well, but I wanted to open it up first.
Yeah, I'll say, you know, I understand why Felipe's mad, 1,000%. You know, it's 100%. Like if anybody were to do that to me or anything like that, I'd be livid. Absolutely. You know, even if it is just a second extra or something like that. You know. So I understand Felipe's frustration. You know, I'm not sure I quite understand everybody else's frustration. I think it's a big match. There's a lot on the line. You know, the adrenaline's going. You know, it looks to me even like that Luke kind of has his hands kind of locked and like stuck,
like trapped.
Yeah, trapped almost. You know, I think it's like his kind of facial reaction that is really kind of making everybody.
Yeah, it looks like he put a little extra sauce on it, right?
It looks like he kind of squeezes a little extra. You know, I'm not 100% sure if that's.
Can we pull this in, Nick?
Like right here, then he gives the facial
back it up just a smidge here. But obviously, this is a huge moment, a huge victory for Luke. Yeah, it doesn't look great, but you know, again, I don't fault Luke, to be honest, just because I feel like there's so much on the line. There's a lot of adrenaline. Did he not respect the tap? I mean, he eventually lets go, and it's a second or two after maybe the referee's starting. So
I saw someone say 1.5 seconds.
1.5 seconds. So I don't think there's anything malicious that Luke did, to be honest. You know, and these things happen before. These happened in MMA sometimes. You know, the adrenaline's going really hard and everything like that. So I don't fault Luke too much, to be honest. But I do understand.
Understand Felipe.
Yeah, but I do 100%. Understand why Felipe is so angry. So I don't know. It's a delicate situation there for
sure.
But
what do you think, Joe?
Definitely. I would like to start by saying I think that the referee, Gabriel, did a really, really great job and did exactly what he was supposed to do and really helped de-escalate things very quickly. Pedro Mourinho was also on the mat, de-escalating things very quickly. Appreciate both of those guys for keeping a calm head, keeping a cool head.
Absolutely.
In the middle of all that, shout out. I think Luke held it a little too long. I think Luke was trying to go from 100 down to 0 and was not able to do that fast enough. And he's going to catch flack for that. Fair enough. I think, he was caught in the fight, caught in the moment. Tensions are high, aggressive combat sport. I don't think it was like egregious to the point where like we would like strip him or anything crazy. Like, that's great, but yeah, he just has to wear that as like a thing that happened and move on from it.
Yeah.
We've seen Luke fight so many times and it's never really been crazy issues. So I think we're he'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of an aberration, I guess.
For sure. I mean, my take on it is like a whole lot more of the same of what you guys are saying, I think like, if you look back a little bit in recent time, and I know these guys have already heard me say this is kind of what I've been saying since it happened, is like, if you look at CJI, there's the Giancarlo Taylor Pearman match where they said Giancarlo tapped. He's like, I didn't tap, but then he loses the match by submission. So like a little bit of like now this is awkward. Like everybody's looking at footage, trying to slow it down. Was it a tap? Was it not? And so it's like, okay, that happens. Then there's another one, Gio versus Bilal. And so it's kind of like, all right, well, that one.
Elijah Wagner.
So it's like there's a lot of this weird stuff going on at CJI. Then we see Luke, after all of this, come out and fight Pato. And whenever he fought Pato, he gets a rear naked choke on Pato. And he kind of held it a little long, to be honest. And I don't think that's Luke's a bad guy. He holds chokes. It's like, I think we can throw that argument away. Like everyone online who's saying like, oh, Luke's a bad guy. Like I keep seeing this. You guys are being silly gooses, dude. You might have to jump in the water if you keep saying that. Luke is genuinely one of the best guys in jiu-jitsu. It's like we interact with these guys. I get that you watch videos of them and stuff, but people online who are trying to now peg Luke as like a bad guy, you're just wrong. Like it's just like you've never interacted with him. You never talked to him. I think if you met Luke, if you see him at an event and you said, hey, Luke, I'm Trey. Nice to meet you. He would immediately be like, oh, what's up, man? I'm Luke. It's very nice to meet you. And you would immediately be like, oh, this guy must be one of the most genuine, best dudes in jiu-jitsu, because he just actually is. So I think this is my take on it. Obviously, Luke knows what's really going on, so talk to him if you want the real details. I think Joe interviewed him. He gave some thoughts and everything. But I think Luke has been overcompensating because of some of those weird, like, I didn't tap situations where he's going full on, like, the ref has to stop it. I'm not, it's like the ref, this is high-level competition. The ref has to actually say, like, stop and get my hands for me to stop, because I do not want to end up in a weird did he tap, did he not thing. And I think he overcompensated too far, especially in this one where it's like, all right, Luke, it's like Philippe's giving you a clear, like, tap. He's making it obvious, but he's just doing a, like, well, I don't stop till the ref is, like, in there. And he got caught up in the moment a little bit, but I think Philippe 100% warranted response, to be honest. Like, it is potentially dangerous.
The exact same thing.
Yeah, it's like potentially dangerous whenever a dude's choking you over your teeth. Like Robert Whittaker, we saw his teeth get smashed in an MMA fight, from a choke, whereas like front teeth like sunk back. So it's like it is dangerous. Like we do have to honor the tap, to be honest. And I think there's just been a little bit of an overcompensation for some of these weird, like, I didn't tap things. Which, to be honest, like, dude, we got to stop the, like, fake tap thing also. It's like no one's addressing the fake tap kind of culture that led into this. Maybe I'm going to get fried for this take. I don't know. But it's like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of fake tapping shit that does go down in jiu-jitsu. Like, that kind of has to stop if we want to care so much about honoring the tap as well. And I do think you have to honor the tap. It's like Ben Eddy's been very boisterous on his social media. I think Ben Eddy's making a fine point, that the essence of jiu-jitsu, you have to honor the tap above everything. That is true. It's like potentially dangerous to not. And I think in these high-level events, maybe there's a slightly different type of dynamic of like, this is high-level competition. It's like the referee's kind of responsible for this guy. I'm not as much. Maybe a little bit of an overcompensation, though. So I don't fault Luke too much. I think, he might have messed up in this situation. And, people mess up. But it's like, is Luke Griffith malicious? Is he a bad guy? No way. Should Felipe be as mad as he got? Probably so. So it's kind of like, I don't think anything that crazy happened from this, to be honest.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, and just on the respecting the tap thing, obviously, and I think Luke would agree, like, 1,000%. He's a guy who respects the tap, and he held it 1 second long. It's not like he didn't let go. He did let go. He just let go a second too late. So
100%. I think you make a good point, Reed, about the nature of that choke. It's not like it was like a beautifully like worked in under he wrapped his arms around Felipe Pena's head and squeezed until he got the tap. You know what I mean? That requires an incredible amount of force, an incredible amount of wedging that's going to be difficult to disentangle immediately. And we see that with the new, modern rear naked chokes. I remember, for example, Gianni Grippo, make a comment, had a match at No-Gi Worlds last year against somebody where he went in and did a very similar rear naked choke, and the guy got really mad at him and shoved him immediately after the match. And they were cool after, but it was hard to let go immediately.
Yeah, it's not like this thing like doesn't happen. It does happen. Where this is just the nature of the sport. We're locking in submissions and squeezing with all our might to try to finish the match. So I don't think it was egregious. Like I said, I understand why Felipe was mad, and I'm sure that he's not going to be set with this until he gets it back, to be honest.
For sure.
So he's going to be mad for a while about this, and understandably, but I think Luke's a good guy. Luke's a guy who respects the martial arts of what we're doing here and everything like that. And I don't think it was egregious. I don't think it was intentional.
For some reason, the jiu-jitsu community is just quick to try and crucify people as well, which I think is maybe something we should,
I think that's
it is just but we should just we got to have a little benefit of the doubt, when dealing with people, especially people like you don't know.
High stakes.
You weren't there. It's just it's hard to think everything that's going on whenever you're just watching a video of something, to be honest. Even being there, it's like being Matt's side is like, well, shit, dude, I don't know what the freak just happened. It's like I can't act like I can't walk over and just be like, oh, boys, let me fire off everything. Let me tell you all the stuff that just went down. It's like, dude, I don't know. I gotta talk to Luke, gotta talk to Philippe, gotta talk to a lot of people.
Rewatched the match, 50 times probably since then, to really, really understand exactly what happened. But But congratulations to Luke, heavyweight champion now. Obviously, this is something that, he's been working for a long, long time. And he's been at that kind of top spot here for the last couple of years, not able to kind of finish the crest of the mountain. And he finally did. And I think you could just see the kind of weight off of his shoulders immediately after it happened, and he was pumped. So incredible performance otherwise, though. Felipe is obviously one of the best in the world, has been for a long, long time. So anytime anybody submits Felipe Pena, it's a huge deal.
Now that we have a who's number one heavyweight champ again, what do you think of this division? Who do you think should kind of have claims to the throne? Who do you think should be kind of next challengers for this one?
Two guys immediately jumped to mind. I'll give three guys, actually. First guy that I would really like, I think thematically makes the most sense, is Nicky Rod, right? CJI, Simple Man Kingsway. Nicky Rod just beat Kynan at WNO 27, which was a great performance from him. So I think there's definitely a lot to like in terms of that, but can be a little hard to get the $1 million grappler to the table in the negotiation.
Got a lot of leverage these days.
hard to find a number that works for everybody sometimes, right? But obviously, I think that everybody would love for that to happen. And then two other guys that I think are both ranked inside the top 10 would just be really interesting matches. Yatan Bueno.
Just beat Big Dan.
Beat his teammate. Ruslan beat Luke once upon a time. Big scary Russian guy. At Aiga. Passed his guard a bunch of times. And I think maybe it's time we run that back.
Yeah. You got any thoughts on?
Yeah. I think those are great matches. Hopefully somewhere down the line we see this rematch between Luke and Felipe as well. Obviously, if Felipe wants it, we'll probably see it at the ADCC World Championships when we're there in Poland. So that makes me excited to see it there potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nicky Rod would be a great one. I think eventually we could run back Victor Hugo as well. I know Victor Hugo probably wants that one back as well. So there's some matches out there for him.
Yeah, definitely some ways that the heavyweight division should start getting kind of crazy for who's number one, hopefully in 2026. Like, I know obviously Marigali's Luke's teammate, but it's like, feels like we should get Marigali back sometime soon, right? You know, start seeing Marigali matches. Who knows what kind of wins he starts putting together in the WNO heavyweight division. Michael Pixley kind of waiting out there as like a little bit of a killer in the shadows, waiting to make some noise, noise on the WNO circuit. So there's a lot of dudes that this could end up becoming a crazy division for in 2026.
100%.
You want to dive into the co-main, Helena versus Julia Boscher?
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here, actually. So, obviously, I think Julia going into this definitely was the underdog, but I was impressed with Julia. She was able to get out a couple of these leg entanglements early on in the match. Helena just such a relentless submission hunter here, and then you can see she was able to kind of get the ankle, and she had gotten the ankle a couple times, but she wasn't letting this one go.
Yeah, I thought this was, like you mentioned, it was a great performance from Julia, able to hang and exchange for a little bit longer than I think people were expecting, some people at least. But Helena just proving why she's number one pound for pound, and this, especially in no-gi, this is her world, and she's so skilled, so talented. Gonna get a chance to see her again this upcoming weekend. She's gonna try to win her first black belt world championship with the IBJJF. Very exciting to see. But yeah, just here she's showing just that she is untouchable she's the best women's leg locker of all time.
Go ahead.
I like the chainmail, like Knights of the Round Table little fit she's got.
I know that's got to be a reference, but I don't get it. That's got to be like an Assassin's Creed thing or something.
Yeah, I don't know if she'd be repping the Templars, which I think would be the closest that would be to for Assassin's Creed. I don't know. That would be weird. Yeah, the Knights Templar. But like maybe it's a Crusader thing. I'm not gonna lie. My dad hit me up. My dad was like, "What's going on with this outfit on Helena? Is she British or something? Is this like a European thing?" And I was like, I gotta be honest. Like I don't know. Maybe she just likes Crusader history or something.
It is a little Joan of Arc. Maybe she's doing a Joan of Arc kind of. I could see that.
I can see that.
But because she's repped this before, right? Maybe not this exact one, but she's repped like that, like insignia and everything.
I think she's worn that because she always wears the same like top bottom. So I think I think she has worn this exact thing before, and I don't know. I gotta ask her next time.
We gotta dive into that.
Don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this. All right, I promise.
We were talking about Felipe versus Luke. We should be diving into this. I don't know what.
Every once in a while, I will ask her about an outfit, but I feel like I do have to like temper it. I feel
asking Helena
every
too much.
Single time, I would just turn to this like, Joan Rivers, like, honey, what are you wearing this time? Tell me.
Yeah, outfit watch with Joey Fitz.
Honestly, No-Gi Worlds coming up. Might be a drip or drown.
Drip or drown. Yeah, I was going to say, though, Helena being in at No-Gi Worlds, I think is awesome, obviously, because, getting to see Helena compete more is a good thing. I saw Cassia Mora also bounced up to that heavyweight division, which is nuts.
Helena moved down to medium heavy, so they're not going to be in the same division.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I just think...
I was super excited for that, too, because Cassia might be... like just the boogeyman of this division. She already has a win over Sarah a few years ago now at Fight Pass. Black belt world champion, has only been a black belt for like a year less. Incredible.
But I just think now Helena, if she can come out and win a black belt no-gi world title, it's like that's like one of the final infinity stones for this year. You know what I mean? Like she's kind of done it at CJI, she's done it at Who's Number One, she's kind of done it all over the place. And now if she can come out and also capture IBJJF, one of the other major promotions in the sport of grappling, it's like, whoa, that's incredible. Like, doesn't matter the rules, doesn't matter the competition. Helena's just an absolute beast. So definitely that'll be sick to see her there. But we'll cover more No-Gi Worlds as a whole a little later in this episode. But what are you queuing up here? Shanji versus Ferris?
Yeah, you always want to just take a look at Shanji Ferris real quick.
Yes.
A very, very exciting, interesting match. Obviously, the crowd in attendance was very interested in this one as well. There a lot of Six Blades family in the crowd and everything like that. They went crazy when Felipe Costa won.
It's crazy, man. Nobody goes crazy at a WNO the same way a Six Blades crew does. It's crazy.
Yeah,
they loved Shanji and they hated Ferris.
Yeah.
They hated Ferris. Like,
I still think the craziest WNO reaction I ever heard might be Lovato in Oklahoma.
That was pretty nuts.
That might be number one.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
I agree. But yeah, obviously a little bit of shit talk here and trash talk kind of going into the match. Ferris from the UK obviously seemed to kind of Obviously I think he has respect for Shanji, but he threw a lot of it out the window kind of in the lead up here. He was saying some things and whatnot. And, obviously we have nothing but the utmost respect for Shanji Ribeiro, an absolute legend of the sport that I could never say a bad word about, to be honest. One of those guys who just lives what he says he lives. Like I say this about kind of Andre Galvao as well. These guys who just kind of live the martial arts lifestyle, live the jiu-jitsu lifestyle, to their core. And Shanji's a guy who does that. He does not have to come out here and test himself on the WNO mats. He did that 10 years ago. He won 7 world titles. He won the absolute division at the IBJJF World Championships. He won two ADCC world titles.
Double Hall of Famer.
Double Hall of Famer. This man is on the Mount Rushmore of jiu-jitsu. And, the reason we're all here, the reason why you're watching this probably stems from Shanji Ribeiro or somebody like him, So we have so much to appreciate that Shanji laid this groundwork for all of us to kind of continue to enjoy doing jiu-jitsu, watching jiu-jitsu, making a living from jiu-jitsu. A lot of that stuff is due to Shanji Ribeiro, and he, like I said, he doesn't have to come out here and test himself, but he does because he's a badass and because he loves competition. It's in his blood, and I don't think he was fazed by anything Ferris said. This ain't Shanji's first rodeo, but that being all said, it was the Ferris show. Ferris, and he's so good on the feet, to be honest. He's a little underrated on the feet, and I feel like he really showed off his wrestling and stuff like that here, and his top pressure and things like that. And so very impressive performance from Ferris. All those things being said about Shanji, that he had his day, that man is still tough as nails, and he would put it on all of y'all, all of
100%.
us, so.
Still super solid chance if Shanji were to enter like No-Gi Worlds this week that he could go in there and medal. You know what I mean? He definitely is still of a certain caliber, but Ferris is a guy who continues to just have amazing performances and beat really elite guys who are in their prime. He's in his prime, and he's doing amazing. And yeah, I just want to echo everything you said about Shanji Ribeiro. We also saw, I don't know if we'll talk about it, but the Marcelo stuff this weekend. And there really is just a level of guy who, no matter what happens at this point, they're already just minted. You know what I mean? And their legacy is already so pristine and so established that nothing can ever really bring that down. And I think Shanji is absolutely of that level. Marcelo, obviously, of course, as well. And this was an enormous result for Ferris. I felt like for Ferris, this is a little bit of a coming out party. He got to show off some of his game with his great wrestling, got to show off some top game, got to show off his skills on the mic. Ferris is a guy who's just going to continue to stir the pot for as long as he can continue to stay relevant, and we should all be thankful for that.
And look at how this is kind of shaped up now. I mean, it feels like there's tons of people calling out Ferris now. After everybody wants a match with Ferris.
Lovato was pacing the mat, at wanting a match with. He's like, King of the Gringos? Really? That guy's King of the Gringos? I'm King of the Gringos.
I saw Ferris just dropped a thing about Lovato. He called him a traitor, though. He said you should have been the King of the Gringos. You were supposed to be our guy, but you flipped.
You were the chosen one.
You were the chosen one.
Well, Ferris, leave us out of all of that. But,
yeah, Ferris will drag you into a bad place, dude. You'll start getting texts from people you didn't even know had your number when you hang out with Ferris for too long. But I will say, Ferris, incredible villain. Like, what a great villain to have in the Who's Number One world. And I don't think Ferris would be sad at me for calling him a villain. I think
he put himself up today with a really called himself the villain.
Gotcha. I think he loves being the villain. He plays the villain so well. This is a little bit of I don't think Ferris is actually a villain, to be honest. He's willing to say stuff that maybe a lot of people aren't, which I guess if that makes him a villain, for sure. His persona is the villain, and he leans into it. And just honestly, a masterclass on the mic when it comes to even after the win, he immediately gives Shanji the props, but then flips back to villain mode and goes, but this is a declaration of war. And it's damn, Ferris, you kind of did the the MJF, kind of oh yeah, no, I'm here for all of you guys, you guys, except I'm not, dude. I freaking want to destroy everyone. So
I think Ferris is being pretty authentic,
For sure.
And that's all I really want to see sometimes, when these guys are kind of, going through the ringer and everything like that, the press conference and whatnot. I do think Ferris is just kind of genuinely saying what's on his mind a lot of the time. So I appreciate that. and you mentioned Marcelo earlier, like it is hard to say that it's like, it is kind of a bummer to see these guys, who are legends and who you revere and who.
It hurt watching Marcelo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they're legends too, though, dude. It's like Marcelo and Shanji, like they didn't ever have to do another jiu-jitsu match ever in their life if they didn't want to, but they're just like so in it. Like they're so,
Warriors.
yeah, they're just absolutely live by the sword, die by the sword. Where they're like, Marcelo's like, dude, I beat cancer. Why would I not come back and do jiu-jitsu matches? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, they'll take a loss, but like that just adds to their legacy, in my opinion. It's like the fact that they're still doing this. Like, we'll see if a lot of these guys who are currently at the top now are doing this when they're 40 years old. Like, so only time will tell. But definitely big shout out to those guys. If there's anyone in jiu-jitsu that's a good guy, since we were talking good guys, bad guys a little bit earlier, Marcelo, ultimate good guy. Like, I think everyone should be able to agree that for sure.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I think one thing about Ferris that like maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not, but like Ferris, top tier tactician when it comes to jiu-jitsu matches. Like his corner was kind of funny for this match. He had PJ Barch, Owen Jones, Greg Saunders, DeAndre Corby all in the corner. And he kind of talked afterwards about like how it was a lot of PJ who like built out this very specific game plan for like what he needed to do. Obviously Owen was involved. And then he even like trained the day of with Greg Souders and DeAndre and like took some stuff from them that he said he did in the match that they were kind of talking about like for a 30-minute training session the morning of the event. And he just like was able to apply it like in a very strategic way throughout this. And it like obviously played out well for him. So I know he has a lot of good guys helping him kind of build a plan in his corner. And I just think Ferris is like maybe sneaky really good at like having a plan and coming out and like executing it. So we kind of saw that on display here.
He also, after the match, called out, we maybe not have to name names, the king of the Creonches.
That's his words.
His words.
Yeah.
The king of the Creonches. And that's not Lovato. I think he means Craig.
No.
I think he means Isaac Bahiennes.
That is who he means.
Oh.
Yeah. Because of the stuff with Alliance and Isaac and
Gotcha.
Michael Lange. I think when they were in Brazil at BJJ Stars, Isaac was there and he was kind of like calling out Ferris a little bit. So I think Ferris now wants Isaac on BJJ Stars one thing he was talking about. But yeah, he's referencing that Alliance stuff that happened throughout the last year.
Thought we were going to get a Ferris Craig match.
Yeah, no. He got a penalty right there.
Yeah, I was gonna
you saw bad boy Ferris.
Yeah, I was going to pull it up.
Yeah, maybe you are a villain, Ferris. Am I glazing, bro? These guys going to call me out for glazing? Yeah, Ferris is a villain.
You're definitely glazing.
Michael
If there's one thing. So he gets this little foot sweep off the mat.
Yeah. And got a penalty.
Yeah.
look at him. He just sits there and takes it. I thought this was funny.
He's like,
yeah, I probably deserve a penalty.
All right. Cool.
Dude, there was one moment where it looked like he was going to start going for a Kimura, and I was like, "Oh my God, Ferris! If you Kimura'd Shanji, that would be so insane." Shanji's too good though. Shanji didn't let that happen.
Yeah, no chance.
But you gotta
Never
look at
would.
it. No.
You almost got taken out at one point.
Yeah, I almost got taken. They come flying into me. I think it might have been earlier on. Train Angry, one of the boys, Train Angry on Instagram, depending on what he's posting. If he's posting bad stuff, he's not one of the boys. If he's posting good stuff, he is one of the boys, but he's always watching. He posted a clip of it, and he was like, camera operator Trey Robinson almost taken out middle match, but stays in the pocket. Can't wait to see the shot. And it's like, hey, man, I didn't get the shot. I looked back. I was shaking in my boots.
I wasn't recording.
Yeah, I forgot to hit record on that one, but next time I got you. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't looked back yet. Hopefully I got something.
We
But,
see the shot betraying it. It's like, fuck.
oh, God, no. Not like this. I'm in over my head. But, shout out Ferris. He did get it done. Got the win there. Six Blades was not happy with him. They did not like him. I think there's some interesting Ferris matches to make. Obviously, Lovato wants it really bad. I don't know if I'm sold on that match yet. Maybe if these guys keep talking, I'll get sold, but I don't know if I'm completely sold. But I think there's definitely some interesting things to have done. Before Ferris fought Shanji, I was a proponent of Ferris versus Sebastian Attard because Sebastian Attard is a top tier,
Also a good talker.
great talker, great social media presence, willing to say kind of what's ever on his mind. And so I thought Ferris and Sebastian going back and forth, I thought that could be a crazy build-up. But now I don't know. It's like you beat Shanji, and now it's kind of like maybe different matches make more sense. But
Might be a different tax bracket.
yeah,
It was good stuff. Six Blades crew. Reed, I don't know what you have queued up. If there's more to talk about.
No, obviously we can talk. Gabby had a big win, and
well, I was gonna say Six Blades crew got real happy.
Yeah.
When Larangenia picked up that crazy win, that was one of the best WNO matches that we've had in a long, long time. That was really wild. Back and forth, and Felipe Costa, he finally does eventually pick up the submission win against Abe, but I thought Abe. Overperformed past anything that I think a lot of people were expecting coming in, and had Felipe's back for a long time and was really putting it on him, almost armbarred him. Felipe storms back, gets the reverse triangle. But I thought this was a match where both guys really elevated themselves. Felipe has now had back-to-back WNOs where he had the match of the night. That's nuts. Abe was taking on a guy who, has been minted as the, has got it done in IBJJF, has gotten it done for ADCC. And Abe went toe-to-toe with him every step of the way. It was awesome, man.
I honestly think Felipe Costa is still probably underrated for how good he truly is. He's an ADCC medalist now, obviously the No-Gi Worlds stuff, but I still think kind of underrated, to be honest. And that's why, to your point, I was like, oh wow, dude, Abe is way better than I was giving him credit for. Abe's incredible as well. So Abe might be big time underrated guy as well. Maybe he can put together a trials run, something like that. We'll see more of Abe probably here in the future. But definitely this was a crazy. Abe comes out right, takes Felipe's back early on.
Or no, Felipe
takes Abe's back.
Doesn't quite take his back, but almost does. Yeah,
almost takes his back, turns the tide. Abe then takes Felipe's back, right?
Mounts him a couple of
times. Okay, yeah. And then Felipe eventually gets that rear triangle armbar. So definitely a crazy back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when I was watching, obviously Felipe was doing really well in the beginning, and then Abe changed the tides there, and then he did kind of get out and get back to his guard. But to me, it looked like, I was like, man, it looks like Felipe is just done. It looks like Felipe has nothing left, it just looked like he was just very passively trying to stop him from passing his guard. And it just looked like, to me, I was like, man, Abe just looks obviously big dude, not a guy you want to be mounted on top of you and everything like that. Just has that body type for it where it just looks miserable. But I think it just goes to show the heart that
pause this real quick.
Felipe Costa has.
Pull up this video. Go back just a little bit. This is an important thing I want to address.
Is it the rash guard on Abe?
No. Play it.
Pretty sweet rash guard.
Wait till they switch the camera angle. Again, we need a new camera angle. I'm telling you guys, this is important. This is important that we're doing this.
Even this was this is right when Abe was starting to really put together some of his better work, and
I don't know how far Reed went back.
How far?
Okay, pause it. Oh, now you got to go back again. Pause it.
Yes, I know exactly what you're going to say, and I agree 100%.
What are we doing with a judge wearing sunglasses?
That guy was judging matches. That guy was judging matches.
How did no one out there make a meme about this judge wearing sunglasses? I work for FloGrappling. I work for Who's Number One. Yeah. I can't, and I probably shouldn't even be saying this. I might catch, heat in the office for this. We got a judge rocking sunglasses.
No, this was crazy. I 100% agree.
Thank God there wasn't a controversial decision, or I would have had to bust out a new fresh burner meme account. And I'm like, WNO got blind judges these days? Come on, that decision was shit. It's like, why is this? Does anybody know why this guy was doing that? It was hilarious.
I have two,
lights are bright in there.
Lights are bright. Yeah. Did he see us blow up sunglasses referee, who now does wear those sunglasses like it's his gimmick?
And he's trying to push a gimmick?
Sunglasses judge.
Yeah.
At first I saw him sitting Matt's side during the night, and I was like, oh, well, clearly he's a production guy or something. He's not judging matches. And then later I walked by and he was like, and that is 10-9
yeah.
to Gabby, advantage red.
Yeah, we got a referee rocking the shades, dude. Come on now.
I like it. I think you got to go with somebody needs to rock those fluorescent pit vipers though. We need some neon green pit vipers, and somebody's just out there just reffing.
I think someone should go full ghetto Pat. Just the pharmacy over your glasses, fully blind guy ones. But
I think somebody should get those opera glasses that you hold up to your eyes.
A monocle?
yeah, dude, you just watch a guy with a monocle with like a chain going down.
I would be like, I bet that guy's getting it right. He probably is.
That guy looks dialed in.
Yeah.
You're talking about the ones that like zoom a little.
Yeah.
Where is the grip actually? Yeah. All right.
But what I was
If
saying
you saw
there,
a judge with binoculars, you'd be like, this guy's figuring it out.
yeah, we got to get this guy back. Like, this guy's locked in. This guy's got binocs.
Funny. We're rocking binos. He's got the full like tactical like helmet with night vision on top. Went to Soldier Fortune magazine, just bought a fresh pair of night vision goggles. Like that would be sick. But
I just was going to comment on like on the warrior spirit that Felipe Costa has, and that's what the Six Blade crew tries to kind of cultivate. That warrior spirit,
Samurai.
Yeah, exactly. And it did look like Felipe was all out of gas there, and he was still able to turn the tides and find the submission here in the last few minutes of the match. So shout out Felipe Costa, huge match, fight of the night probably, exciting match. Hope to see him again.
yeah,
100%.
definitely.
I thought both guys showed a lot of heart. I would see these guys fight again in a heartbeat. I thought this was awesome.
Yeah, I think both guys kind of had a positive in the post match kind of like stock was up for both guys for sure. What else should we look at? I know we talked about Gabby versus Paige.
Paige, one of the toughest women alive.
Yeah, Paige is just so tough. Obviously, it was Gabby who kind of had a dominant performance there, got the win, her No-Gi Super Fight debut. I don't know what makes sense for her next. Does she just go straight to the title? Should she fight Nachielli for the who's number one heavyweight belt?
Little tough not to.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
not to at this point. I would also, and obviously, she's going to be doing her double gold campaign this upcoming week, and we'll see if she can accomplish. She has a little bit of a tougher bracket this time in that she will at least have one match, which she did last time. But Gabby's the queen. I thought something that was really interesting after this match was Gabby was openly asking for an ADCC invite. And she said, I'm double Grand Slam champion for IBJJF in No-Gi. I've won on WNO. I deserve the invite. I'm not going to do trials. Give me the invite.
It's tough.
Should just do trials to be
Yeah, she should do trials, I think, because I think it's like you really have the 4 trials winners and then the 4 medalists from
Somebody kind of needs to drop out.
Yeah,
right?
so it's like if one of those girls drop out, if one of those girls doesn't drop out, then there's no room for an invite. So
Yeah.
hopefully she does get the invite, but she's really kind of playing it tough there, just because there's not an invite available, at least right now. So
I understand the sentiment. Like, I understand where she's coming from for sure, but it is just like, just win trials, Gabby.
Just go beat 3 girls at trials. Right?
Yeah.
How many girls are going to be in trials? Especially if
100%.
Gabby like early enters, like she could genuinely have one match.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess that's our recommendation. Just win trials.
Just go win ADCC trials.
Nobody can deny it.
real quick, my computer's about to die. I got to go run out and grab a charger real quick. You
Okay,
guys,
sick.
you
Hey,
guys want
we
to
can
watch?
Buster.
We'll just watch Katie versus Jocelyn while you go get
Oh, okay, maybe Nikki's gonna bring me a charger, but I was gonna say, yeah. Do you guys want to just watch that?
Sweet Nikki. Yeah, and then also, does that definitely deserves said? It's not about this match though. Shout out to Oliver and Chris Wojcik, who on very late notice stepped up and replaced the title match that we had to call off. Diego Pato was not able to compete, so we had to call off that title match with DeAndre Corbe. But we found two of the baddest 185-pounders, two ranked guys in the plan who were willing to face off on short notice. Chris betrayed his roots with his never stand-up stuff. And he did stand up, and he did work some guard passes, and he got all that done. Wait, if you're in here...
Nikki, get in front of the
switching
camera. Let
out?
the people see you.
Only I can talk. I just have to filibuster here and keep the cipher going for an extended period of time. So definitely shout out to them. Here we're seeing Jocelyn Molina, by the way, who was one of the only people to successfully predict which submission she was going to hit. It's this mounted Darce, which I had to take a couple of looks at. It's actually like kind of an interesting.
I think Grayson did too.
Grayson did too, like before that.
Yeah.
And yeah, the undercard was all submissions. That's all still available on YouTube. You can go and find that there. But there's the baby shark, only 13, turning 14, I think, very soon. I think
that was
December.
That was the submission she predicted?
That was the submission.
Mounted guillotine?
Mounted Darce.
Mounted Darce, okay.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to tell from the angles and everything what she actually hit.
Yeah, it took me. I watched it with DeAndre Corbe was standing next to me, and we both took a second to like, what was in there? What was happening? So at least it's like a pound for pound guy is like also like having to look at it twice. I felt a little better about myself.
I mean, Jocelyn is something else, dude.
Unbelievable.
13 years old to be competing at the level she is, to get the win she's getting. Like, I don't know what the future holds for Jocelyn. I think the sky's the limit there, you know? Like, I mean, I don't know.
Straight up, the only people I see defeating her like that are people who are much bigger and stronger. You know what I mean? It's just a physical maturity issue for her. And she kind of alluded to that too with, asked her about like trials and West Coast trials. She's like, yeah, just got to figure out these big girls.
Yeah.
Like, hey, honey, me too.
Yeah. Everybody slide into Joe's DMs. Help him figure it out.
Me both, sister.
But yeah, Jocelyn is, obviously we saw her take the loss at East Coast trials. I think it's hard not to think maybe she's a favorite going into the second ADCC North American trials, like at least in the talk, you know. But it's she just looks incredible every time she goes out there. Being 13 is so nuts, and competing at that level. Like, what belt is that? Do we know her actual belt? Like,
green belt.
She's a green belt. All right. How about that? Everybody at home, think about that for a second. Jocelyn Molina, 13-year-old green belt, would absolutely dog walk you in the gym, myself included. She would just do whatever she wanted. So
it's like over a year until she can get a blue belt.
Yeah,
that's
so crazy.
So far ahead of schedule. And
the sandbagging allegations are going to be nuts whenever she gets a blue belt. Like, people are going to be like, "What, dude?" It's like, well, she can't. Like,
what do you want? She's just been through, and talking to her this time, having gone through the process now once for her, it did feel like she was a lot more comfortable on the mic. She was a lot more comfortable with a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. I love that her and Katie were like going after each other at the press conference in a very like respectful, playful way, giving each other like. Katie had like Uncrustables for PB&J for Jocelyn's.
I got one of them.
I also got one of them. She had a lot of Uncrustables.
Yeah,
she had a lot of Uncrustables. Respect. And then Jocelyn had like Life Starts After 30, like self-help book for Katie, which was very funny.
You know how old Katie actually is?
Under 30. She's like 29 or something. Yeah. It was awesome seeing Jocelyn, just more and more personality flowing. I think that's only going to increase with time. We got something special here.
For sure.
Is she going to be able to keep the Baby Shark name?
I don't know.
It's kind of like, we already got a Baby Shark.
Sarah Galvao went with Baby Shark for a while. I think it was more of her dad just might have called her that, but she dropped it pretty early on once she started doing more events and everything. So I'm not sure if Jocelyn will keep it or not. It's hard to pull out the Baby Shark moniker whenever we have Diogo Hayes, you know, the true Baby Shark out there, just 2-time ADCC champion. Kind of has that one on lock, but we'll see. You want to watch Grayson Michael Banich?
I'm kind of having some internet trouble.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah, so I'm not sure. But yeah, shout out to Grayson, man. Grayson had an incredible performance out there as well on the undercard. Had a 30-second submission, right?
Yeah.
One of the fastest submissions in WNO history.
I think it's top 5 without double checking, but I think it's top 5 fastest.
And he called his shot as well, you know, said he was going to hit that kind of Kyotera ankle lock and was able to in 30 seconds. So pretty sick submission there. And then Nick Fritz from Paragon there, a guy, he was able to get the submission fairly quickly, I believe.
Yeah, like 79 seconds.
79 seconds. Wow. Sorry, I got to sneeze.
Did anybody else feel a little better about the times you've been tapped out by Nick watching him go out and do that?
Well,
Yeah,
dude,
1000%.
I was talking to Corey and Reed about this in the gym.
It's like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah, because like a few weeks ago, I was like rolling with Nick, you know, helping him get ready and all that, and like getting into leg exchanges, and I was kind of like getting out of them, you know, making them like delaying the submission, you know, trying to counter off
Surviving, yeah.
Yeah,
Working him.
and then like never working him. Nick beats me up for sure. But like then it gets closer to the event, get into a leg exchange. I'm like, okay, I can handle it, and boom, tapped immediately. I'm like, okay, all right, that was a little tighter, a little harder to deal with. Then I get back in, just immediately tapped again, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know. Did Nick learn leg locks, or was he maybe not going all out on me before? And closer to the event, you know, starts being a little more real with it, and I was like, all right, well, this is incredible. Nick's very good at leg locks. Didn't realize that. So, and then it played out that way in the event. So shout out Nick. Good for him. Cool to have a Paragon representative go out there and get the dub ski. I don't know if everyone watching knows, but we all train at Paragon in South Austin. So Nick trains there as well. He moved there like a year ago from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Worcester.
How do you say it? Worcester.
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 W-U-S-T, Worcester.
Worcester.
Yeah.
All these East Coast guys, Worcester. Hey, listen, boys, I'm from Kansas. You know what I mean? We say Yosemite. We say, we say words how they're spelled. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's crazy that I met Nick, 15 years after I graduated from college, because I went to college in that area, in the Worcester area, and that's kind of like where I first, found jiu-jitsu a little bit.
Is there good jiu-jitsu out there?
Not really, I feel like, to be honest, but I think Nick was able to find a gym.
There's like solid, like
he trained at Worcester MMA, right?
Yeah, East Coast is a little bit more like in the MMA spheres still, where like they don't have like the AOJs and like just like very pure jiu-jitsu gyms, I feel like. So it's like if you're finding a tough gym, it's usually you're gonna find a guy or find like an MMA focused gym or just a bunch.
Obviously, New York has it.
But I mean like kind of Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts a little bit. I feel like they're just still kind of more focused on MMA rather than like pure jiu-jitsu. I'm saying this too. It's been a minute since I've lived on the East Coast, but that was my experience.
I think that's still largely true, to be honest. I think that's partially the wrestling influence and just like the love of toughness. And MMA is tough, and let's do MMA.
Why don't you guys have heavy East Coast accents?
Breeding.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Give me one. Give me like a good, like tried and true, like
park the car in Harvard Yard.
Microprocessor.
Microprocessor.
Oh man, how do you like them apples? I got a number. That type of stuff.
Mine's from The Departed.
The
entire time they're trying to figure out who stole the microprocessors.
All right, well. That was East Coast talk with the boys at the FloGrappling show. We got a lot of East Coasters on the show. I'm kind of outnumbered. Mm-hmm. Shout out the Midwest, baby.
Yeah,
everybody give it up for the Midwest real quick.
East Coast and then the Southerners.
Hey, dude, take it back. Take it back right now. Kansas was never a Southern
state. The podcast has been paused until that is taken back.
Yeah, we're going to have to cut right here, and we're going to come back in like 2 hours. Kansas was never part of the South, ever. It was always a free state, always part of the Union. A lot of people don't know Kansas history, and they should. It was a major part of the Civil War, a bit of a turning of the tides for the Civil War. Look into Bleeding Kansas. It was an incredible thing. One of the bloodiest battles in the Civil War history happened on the Missouri-Kansas state border, where Missourians, part of the South, slave state, were coming over illegally to Kansas, faking their registration and trying to vote in Kansas to make slavery legal. And Kansas said, dude, we don't stand for stuff like that, dude. We're down home Midwest roots. We respect all people. And so we just said, you know what? Put your knucks up, dude. This is blue collar warfare on the Missouri-Kansas line. So we went freaking toe to toe with the Missourians. Stomped them, dude. Just dog-walked Missouri. And that's why Kansas was always a free state, never part of the South. Very important. Look into Bleeding Kansas.
That rules. Hell yeah.
Well,
and what were you guys doing?
Rhode Island was Union through and through.
So were we.
From day one. It sounds like you guys had to figure it out.
No, we did not have to figure it out.
You're telling me that nobody from Kansas ever owned a slave?
Not legally.
Well, so I'm about to dive into some Kansas.
You're telling me no one from Rhode Island owned a slave? George Washington's probably from Rhode Island.
Different. I'm talking about after,
After? What? Definitely not after, dude. If you guys were making pizzas and hanging out on your coastal elitism. Hey, I'm from.
You're going too far now.
Where are you from?
Rhode Island.
No, where at in Rhode Island? You don't want to say?
No, Westerly, Rhode Island.
Isn't that where Taylor Swift lives? In her mansion on the beach? You're from where Taylor Swift lives,
Taylor Swift lives in Watch Hill, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Which is not Westerly.
But I Googled it, and it said Westerly.
It's a different town.
One of the most prolific, financially, sound areas on earth, dude. a place where I bet they wear so much Carhartt now, but they ain't never seen a pallet jack, dude. I had this pallet jack after Who's Number One. Woo, I was whipping that thing, dude. Them blue collar roots.
I come from a good a history of fishermen in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Good blue-collar fishermen out there.
You come from a line of people who bought boats because they could afford them and then sent out dudes.
That sounds like you're jealous.
They imported dudes from
Not
Kansas.
my fault they don't got water in Kansas.
Indiana. They imported hard workers to work them boats, and you guys made a pretty penny off of our back.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Not you're welcome.
Well, otherwise you wouldn't have fish and lobster and
honestly, when was the Civil War? 1868 or something?
Yeah, 1860s.
Pre-1868? I don't know if you'd like to get into who was doing the fishing, pal. That's what I thought. Okay, that sums it all up.
I don't know if fishing was a real slavery heavy. This is a lot of stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah, we're really throwing out a lot of info that we don't know much about here. But yeah, there's a little bit of Civil War history on the FloGrappling show. That's why you guys tune in.
Rhode Island better than Kansas. That's all I know. That's all I know.
I will say there is a lot of Midwest people who think that people from the East Coast look down on people from the Midwest. And I just want to say, I don't think that's true at all. People from the East Coast look down on people from the South. We don't think about people from the Midwest.
At all.
Yeah.
That's fair. You're from the smallest state, dude. You had to move to Texas.
Best state.
You had to move to Texas, the biggest state, to the second biggest behind Alaska, to make yourself feel like a big man.
If Rhode Island wasn't there, you wouldn't be here.
Why not?
Because it's 13 original colonies, brother. You're welcome that we put this thing on the map.
You must not know about my indigenous roots.
All right,
You must not know about a little something called the people who were here first.
Let's
Yeah, okay. Trump card. There it is.
Hey, all right, never mind. All right, let's just get out of this.
I'm just kidding.
Let's get out of this.
I don't have that, but I grew up around a lot of people who did. So I'm pulling. I got a lot of friends. Yeah, we're in a bad lane right now, dude. We're gonna get canceled for sure off this one. They thought the Zins episode was bad. We got in trouble for the Zins episode, and now we're talking
just go back like 90 seconds in this conversation and then just like cut it and cut to the next thing. Like, we just like went way too off the.
Hey, Nikki, our producer, what do you think? We keep it in or should we? All right, he said keep it in. It's staying in. You guys are gonna get to see it. All right. now we're throwing in Zins as well, but yeah, just kidding. I don't think we've ever cut something from this podcast, so we'll just get in trouble, I guess. I don't know. But is there anything else from Who's Number One we got to cover? Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, no. Let's jump on to the other big event that happened this weekend. There's 6 events on FloGrappling this weekend. Plenty of jiu-jitsu to watch if that's your thing. We had finishers as well. Had a big event, but also was the ADCC Asia and Oceania trials here. So, as we keep moving along closer and closer to the World Championships in September, we got another crop of male grapplers who punched their ticket to the ADCC World Championships. And I think it's a lot of familiar names, that we kind of really expected. But I don't know where you want to start first, but I guess, I think Nico.
I think Nico's the story that I want to talk about here. Nico Maglicic of Atos Jiu-Jitsu, who we've been seeing, plenty of these tournaments coming up. Just got his black belt like a little over a year ago, I feel like. But it's been putting in a lot of work, putting in a lot of training, kind of always in the gym, being super friendly, being super nice. Well, he just went to ADCC trials and tapped out everybody and punched his ticket to the ADCC World Championships. It was an incredible performance from young Nico, who, he's had some really good wins before. He's beaten Josh Saunders before at Subversion in a big super fight down in Australia. But his wrestling looked on point. His guard looked on point. His everything looked on point. He looked like a monster out there.
Nico's a dude who has kind of completely changed his
body.
Yeah, his body, right? Like he competed at under 99.
Yep.
Under 99, but he was a big boy. I remember at 2022 Pans.
Like 240s.
Yeah, he was like a super heavyweight, if I'm not
ultra
mistaken.
Heavy, I think.
Yeah, ultra, yeah. Won the absolute, I think, 2022 Pans, maybe 2023 brown belt.
That was a sick sweep right there, if you guys saw that.
But
take it back, I was looking to my left at my non-indigenous friend.
He's got the sick.
my dad's from Quapaw. My mom's from Miami. So you guys tell me.
Well, I got Narragansett blood in me too. So,
dude,
Sweet.
you cannot say that. That's a racist word.
All right, so we're cutting one thing.
you guys saw that sweep?
I'm gonna bleep. Even though you didn't say something bad, I'm gonna bleep it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you're fine.
No, Nico was a beast. He went all subs here, 3 matches, 3 submissions,
in
super
a pretty
sick run.
Bracket, right? That had Daniel Schwartz was super
Bob
tough.
Frias. He fought Bob Frias, right?
Sebastian Attard was in there too. But yeah, nobody was holding it up to Nico. He looked awesome. Andre continues to just develop monster after monster after monster. And now Nico's going to get his shot. Unfortunately, he is going to be at -99 where returning.
everybody is.
Well, like Kynan is, you know what I mean? So he's going to have to be in the bracket with Kynan somewhere in there. But yeah, it looked awesome.
Yeah, no, and I'm excited that just to see like we're getting kind of like some new blood into these heavier divisions and stuff like that too. To be honest, Kynan and Marigali and those guys have and kind of Lovato, of course, have really held down these divisions for a long time. And so now we got Declan in there, we got Nico in there, Achilles in there. So it's like we are starting to see this kind of like new blood in these heavier divisions and everything like that. And that under 99 division is turning out to be like one of the most stacked divisions so far. I feel like just with all those names I mentioned, plus Kynan and everything. So
potentially Nicky Rod could even be there. He was there for CJI.
Yeah. Nico's a guy who I feel like has been on the like guys to watch list for a while. Like kind of like I said, probably since like 2022, whenever he was kind of dominating at brown belt and stuff, winning absolutes at like pans and stuff. Then like 2025 Worlds, he fights Adam like early on, like I think second round. So it's like, okay, got shut down there, but he's been on like that kind of up and coming must watch list, mostly in the gi, and it feels like now he's kind of shifted at least some of this focus on more no-gi stuff. Like he's done no-gi super fight shows, right? Like Subversion and all those. I don't know a lot of the other no-gi stuff he's done.
Very little.
I usually always think of him like as a gi guy, but yeah, winning trials is sick. Especially we're going for like almost looked like he was going to go Z-Lock or something there. I do realize I kind of think Z-Lock, anytime somebody starts like underhooking and pushing out the leg, I'm like, oh, Derek Rayfield, Joseph Chin, don't blow it. Like,
don't mess up too bad. This is him against Bob Frias, who's kind of like a regional legend almost at this point, who's super tough wrestler, been in there with all the best guys from around the region a bunch of times. It's kind of like a measuring stick. And the one thing I know about Frias is he's super tough to submit. He's an ADCC world veteran himself. So for Nico to do this was actually maybe the most impressive statement of the day for me, was how he was able to weather some moments from Bob there, and he was able to eventually take the back, get the submission.
Yeah, what a great back taker Nico is. Just watching him over the weekend and everything like that, it feels like he does kind of have like a Felipe Pena-esque game almost a little bit. Like he kind of reminds me of Felipe Pena out there. He's a little bit kind of like relaxed and everything too.
Yeah.
And just such a good back taker.
He's kind of doing a lot of like kind of leg entanglements to the back type of stuff, like a little bit like we saw there, little wrestle up stuff.
Yeah.
But definitely a beast. Shout out Nico. I guess the other there's a couple more big ones, but another big one is Joseph Chin, right? Mm-hmm. Joseph Chin, we posted the full supercut of Joseph Chin. All of his matches are on the YouTube channel, so go watch that if you haven't yet. A lot of people just talking about how Joseph Chin's just playing on easy mode, just kind of like just cruises through this without looking like he really needs to give much effort. And like I think that's just because Joseph Chin might have some of the best jiu-jitsu in all of grappling, He just kind of makes it look easy. I don't think these guys are actually easy. It's just Joseph is that good that he kind of makes it look that way. But super good run from him.
Yeah, it's all relative. Joseph is a guy. Interesting decision to move up to 88, right?
It was kind of weird.
Because I feel like, there is just a chance that he will eventually go back to 77. Sometimes these guys will win a trial at one place and then move around if ADCC will allow them to feel like they have the invite space to do that. But him at 88, he had a chance to feel Bodoni at the last CJI, and maybe he felt like, I could make this work here, or maybe he's just truly outgrown 170 pounds, totally an option. But yeah, he sliced through this bracket. All these guys are tough, but it's all relative, and none of these guys are quite Joseph Chen. He looked awesome.
Yeah, Joseph out there putting up points too. ADCC is such a hard rule set sometimes to really solidify points, but Joseph out there putting up points and just passing people's guards and yeah, looking like he's doing it kind of effortlessly. And what we were theorizing that like he didn't
Kenta.
Yeah, he didn't do 77 because Kenta was in there. And we don't know that for sure, but I think we were kind of theorizing that.
Would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously they're close. So, open it up. Win, yeah. If he looked at the brackets, Joseph Chin looked at the brackets and was like, I think I can get done at 88. So, like, you go 77, I'll go 88. Try to get both the boys in. But Isaac Michel went down to 77, which was also a wild move. I did not think Isaac could make 77 and Joseph could ever weigh, like, what's 88, 194 pounds. Yeah. It's like, that seems huge for Joseph. But
no way he weighed 194 when he, like, actually weighed in that day.
I would guess he probably weighed, like, 183 or something, like, even below 185.
Who do we got in 88 now already?
It is John Blanc.
It
is also Pavel Jaworski.
Pavel.
That's pretty sick.
And then you're going to have Bodoni, J-Rod, Chris Wojcik, Felipe Costa coming in from the last one. So there's the 7 guys Obviously, invites have not been officially accepted yet, but that's kind of the thinking, right? Is the last guys from the last one.
Pretty sick division as well.
Man, Giancarlo versus Joseph Chen, like, sign me up.
Incredible, right?
I'll check that one out for sure.
Especially CJI was so short. I feel like we just didn't get enough of it, right? I feel like they got like 1 exchange, 2 exchange. Things were just really starting to get interesting, and then suddenly there's the match.
That's right.
And certainly
I forgot about that, too.
The way that was set up and the rules and everything, it did make for such different kind of matches against these guys where it's like ADCC rules, this match could be so different, you know? And Giancarlo is so good at ADCC specifically that it's like, man, I don't know. It'd be crazy. Joseph Chin's just insane as well, so who knows? European trials is going to be like, that's going to be the first one in 2026, right? The second European. I think it's because Polaris is January 31st, and I think
like 2 weeks after.
European trials is right after that. That's why we're trying to get Ferris to be the who's number one captain, but he was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's like February, the second European, both of the Brazilian trials in March, East Coast or West Coast trials in, I think, April, or May, if not April, then May. And then the second Asian trials will also be around the same time as West Coast.
Yeah, so great performance from Joseph there. Obviously, sick matches. You guys can watch all those on Flo. Watch them on the FloGrappling YouTube channel. Go check that out. And then 77 kilos, another big one was Isaac Michel. This is the second trials he's won, right?
Third
trial.
3 different weight classes. He's won at 88, 99, and now 77.
66 next.
Only
I can make the weight.
If you can make the weight. But yeah, Isaac, like we mentioned, ended up going against Kenta Iwamoto. Everybody knows Kenta's a dog. Kenta's a beast. Kenta's a multiple-time ADCC trials champion himself. But he ended up getting it done in the finals. There was a couple of later wrestling exchanges for Isaac. But it was a super close decision that could have gone either way. Would love to see them run that one back. But Isaac qualifies for his third ADCC Worlds in a row.
Yeah, him at 77 is definitely interesting as well. Who do we have at 77 so far? We got Little Jacob.
Lil Jacob. We have that Jarbaev guy. And now we have Isaac, as well as the 4 returning place winners, plus Dante Leon from the Absolute.
Yeah, and so potentially Mika, Wagner,
PJ and Elijah.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
So
Crazy
like,
division shaping up already.
Yeah, that's like 8 guys we probably have pretty well. And then, you got to imagine, is JT, who's won 2 of the last 4 ADCCs. Got to think he gets an invite if he wants one.
Cade Ruotolo,
if he wants an invite, is obviously going to get one. What's Ty Ruotolo doing? You know what I mean? Who was it?
Hopefully Cade gets one, but he did CJI, so.
Yeah, who knows? And those dudes are just like MMA superstars now, But they would be sick.
Would be sick. As a grappling fan, I want it.
So this 66 guy, I don't know much about this guy. You were getting some info on him, right?
Yeah,
kind of tell us about him.
I got talked up on him a little bit. Ryoma Anraku. This guy is a Japanese freestyle wrestler by trade. Hey, your front-facing camera is on.
What's up, Reed?
Yeah, I'm having some internet issues. I'm trying to battle it over here. My bad.
It's all good. Anraku was so Japan's really, really good at freestyle wrestling. Don't tell Christian Piles. He's got like an ongoing like online feud about this. But this guy was like the number 2 in the nation behind the Olympic champion Otaguru for a while, and he medaled at U23 Worlds, had a bunch of international results, did really well. He came in, he won this bracket at minus 66 kilos, which is basically the weight he also wrestled at. Didn't score a single submission, out-wrestled everybody. I think I heard he's a purple belt. That would make some sense. And probably the best part of the entire situation, the team. Representing team, badass motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Ryoma
fully
Anraku.
Spelled out.
Yeah, fully spelled out. I'm just quoting what he's registered himself under. Badass motherfucker.
Yeah. Is that allowed?
It happened.
I guess so.
Yeah. And so I think this is almost like when we had homeboy who faced Dorian at the last ADCC. Gerbeg, thank you. Where it's like this, kind of foreign, unknown guy who's got a different style. This is obviously very freestyle, very, very freestyle kind of guy. Who the hell is going to take down this guy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me neither. I got to look more into this dude. I like whenever just a true elite freestyle wrestlers in the mix, it makes for some fun potential matches and everything. So That'd be cool. It seems like a lot of these guys are getting in at 66. These tried and true wrestlers. I know it's happening in other divisions too, but like Garbeg got in, you know.
Where did you say he's from?
Japan.
Okay.
Japan.
Yeah,
who've been having like a really impressive last few years in freestyle men's, and obviously the women's Japanese freestyle wrestling team is the most dominant grappling team on the planet in any sport, right? No team dominates the same way they do, and so they just have this awesome system that he came up out of and is kind of now graduating into some submission grappling. Let's see what we got here.
I've obviously went with the Euro Trey thing for a little bit, try to really cover Euro and support the European guys. It's a scene I love covering. Are you going to become Japan Reed? I know you love Japan. Japan Joe?
Weebu Reed?
Me? I'm Japan Reed? Oh.
Well, I just know we went to Japan.
I could be Weebu Reed.
Yeah. Well, I just know that we went to Japan. Obviously, I loved it too. You loved it a lot. You could become Japan Reed, right?
Yeah.
Just cheer for the Japanese guys.
I do think Japan Joe has like a better
Japanese
ring.
Joey.
Japanese Joey, but...
Who wants it right now, I guess. We'll decide who's the Japanese representative on the show.
So I watch anime. I watch Japanese pro wrestling all the time.
True.
But
so we got to give it to Reed.
Which one of us has a samurai sword?
Yeah, that's a good point.
True. No, you can have Japan. I loved Japan, man. It was so much fun going there and everything like that. But it's true. You maybe are a little closer to it.
Well, so
spiritually.
What do you want to represent?
USA? I don't know.
Fair.
I'd be USA Reed? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Still have not asked for Japan one time. Just putting that. If you go back, look at the tape, I've never advocated that I should be.
Okay. I'll take it.
No. I'm Japan Trey now, dude. I'm Japa Euro Trey. But
it's you and Margo.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys want to preview a little No-Gi Worlds here? Talk some No-Gi Worlds.
I'd love to preview No-Gi Worlds.
Lot of big events going on. I haven't had a chance to dive too much into No-Gi Euros, or No-Gi Worlds, but see, I can't get out of the Euros. I'm Euro Trey till I die. But
there we go. Definitely some exciting ones. I just noticed over the weekend that Kolabate slid in late notice to try to go back to back. This time he's up at lightweight. Bunch of these brackets are super sick. We could look through like middleweight is super sick, men's heavyweight is super sick, men's featherweight is always great, men's lightweight. What we got up here?
I've got lightweight pulled up here.
There you see, and we could be looking at a rematch from last year with Julian Espinoza as the number 2 seed. But there's a lot of tough guys in here. I think
Julian's got the number 1.
Oh, there you go. Well, Julian, man, is just a guy who stays so active. He's a guy who, like we were talking about Felipe Costa earlier, is like an underappreciated guy. I don't think if people really realize how good Julian Espinoza is.
Looks like Yigit has the 2, and then Cole Abate's got the 3.
I think it's Yeet, Jey Uso style.
Yeet? Sorry, that's Midwest for you. We read stuff phonetically. And I don't even know what phonetically means.
Phonetically.
Yeah.
Like you should start doing it that.
AJ Agazarm.
Danilo Moreira is in there. Joao Asanitas is in there. Daniel Sadler's in there. Always a beast. Bunch of super tough guys in this bracket who are going to make it really fun. There's dozens of world ranked grapplers in this tournament. Even the brown belts are going to be super tough, which are happening on Thursday. It's going to be guys like Owen Jones, Michael Pixley, Emily Leyva is going to be in there, just up and down, just stacked with people who are not just the next generation, but people who are already this generation. Little Jacob.
Did you say you had an article with just like some of the names? It might be hard to click through every single bracket, to be honest.
I do. If we go into the site under drafted articles, full preview coming later this week, but that's got some more of our stuff. And man, some of these brackets and draws are not going to be easy for anybody. Certainly, there's definitely something that I could point out. I think Trey earlier you mentioned one of the biggest stories that I'm going to be following is Cassie Amora trying to become the heavyweight No-Gi world champion. This girl won featherweight last year, and she's not that much bigger. So I think that that is going to be a huge task. But if she's able to accomplish it, all Cassie has ever done is make history. All Cassie has ever done is show us that different things are possible than what we expected. And I think this is another example of where she can come in and do that.
Yeah, so men's roosterweight there, obviously Bebeto, Everton Teixeira, Shea Montague in the dark horse slot here in your article. I like Shea Montague. Very funky,
No-Gi
fun
Euro
dude.
champion back from the ACL reconstruction. Was out for over a year, I think Shea was. But finally, Shea's back. He's looking really good. I think he's definitely the guy. If you had to pick one guy to upset everybody here, for me, it's Shea.
Yeah, we got Junio Ocasio, Vinicius Inacio.
Can we pull this article in, Nikki?
Yeah, Kleber Barboza, Estevan in the mix there at light feather.
There you
Good
go.
names. I feel like we've been going for a while, so we can try and just speed run, I guess. What do you guys think?
Absolutely, yeah. And then, like you said, there's 3-4 ranked guys there at men's feather. We're all going to be pushing each other. I think Marco Mendes has a really good shot at getting it done. Gianni Grippo, has been in this game for so long, getting it done. I think this is another great opportunity for him to add another world gold medal. I think he's a 2-time champion, looking to make it 3. And he's definitely, by rankings, the highest ranked guy coming in.
Ash had a victory over Richie B over the weekend too.
Yes, true.
Saw that.
Yeah, there was some European, I don't remember the name of it, some European super fight show.
Oh, and no, Flanagan also beat Jonathan Gracie.
That's a big win for him.
Maybe he submitted him.
Yeah, submitted him.
Yeah,
I saw
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
And
Owen's back in the rankings at 205 now with them.
Nice.
Okay,
He
yeah.
just kind of not been on the scene quite as much.
Yeah.
But now, any excuse to rank Owen O'Flanagan, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, anytime you can submit Jonathan Gracie, Mika wasn't able to do that in 15 minutes, so that's a huge win for Owen for sure.
Definitely. And then lightweight, we kind of talked about already. Middle, got Taza in there, Fab Yuri, Mike Perez, El Patron, the top gambler in jiu-jitsu, Mike Perez, Nathan Chuang, Tarek, Max Hansen. I saw Max Hansen and Owen kind of been jawing at
Max Hansen up at middle?
I know.
Crazy.
Big boy Max.
Yeah, especially for a guy who was on the decline, probably from the decline from ADCC trials. He's just fuck cutting weight for 6 months. I'm not doing any of that shit. So just whatever I walk around at, if I have to be 5 pounds, 6 pounds less than the weight, that's
Dude,
cool.
Max Hansen is so active that, maybe it would make sense for him to not worry too much about weight cuts because he's competing all the time on all kinds of events. So it's maybe just staying at a natural weight could bode well for him.
This middleweight category is pretty stacked.
Super tough, right? Those quarterfinals alone are going to be worth the price of admission.
And even down there, you got Johnny Tama and John Satava.
Benji Silva.
Benji Silva was on the scene for a long time. Haven't seen him in a minute. CJ Murdoch always can kill people.
CJ had it's CJ Natan first round, I think.
Oh, wow.
Crazy one.
Yeah. All right, let's go to men's medium heavy. Pavel Javorsky. Obviously, a lot of people are hip to Pavel now. Let's see if he can get a Dubsky here in the black belt ranks. Sebastian Rodriguez, David Garmo, Angelo Claiborne, always sick whenever he's in the mix. Clay Mayfield, Rafael Paganini, also super good. Gabriel Broge, really good. So, these are good divisions.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good No-Gi Worlds, man.
And then men's heavy, we got Ferris and Dante. Imagine seeing that one.
Let's go, Ferris and Dante.
Also, Lucas Lira. I think Ferris and Lucas Lira have internet beef or something.
That sounds right. And then Dante and Lucas Lira are actually 1-1 against each other. That's the guy who stopped Dante at No-Gi Pants a couple of years ago when he bumped up to heavy. And then Dante got it back in the division. So, both those guys are always down to face whoever. That would be an awesome one.
Yeah, I think this division is maybe one of my favorites with Ferris, Dante, Lucas kind of in that favorites spot. Also, Sean Yadamarco, trial silver medalist, Charles Negromonte, an absolute beast, Javier Barter, Jose Jarima, and then even down Calvin Sabino, Dory, Anthony Robinson, all these, Lucas Galberto. This one's pretty sick as well. So
Charles and Ferris.
Alberto Dante might be first round. I'm trying to Alberto had a really tough draw first round.
you were saying Ferris and Charles Negromonte, they train at Los Banditos.
They train together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They train together at Los Banditos. Just a rowdy bunch over there, the Los Banditos crew.
Oh, we're going to see more Nico.
We're going to see more Nico against
right.
Elder first round.
Whoa.
Elder
So
versus
ADCC
Nikkei?
Trials champion versus Elders won ADCC Trials as well in the past. Pretty sure, 99% sure. And then, they're going to face off first round. I think whoever wins that is probably the favorite to come out of that side of the bracket. But that's just one of those things. Nico hasn't done a lot of IBJJF No-Gi. He's low seeded there.
Yeah. Yeah, also Felipe Trovo in the mix. Felipe Trovo's a beast. Eli Braz, an ADCC Trials champ. So, yeah, super sick divisions there.
Where's Felipe Trovo training these days? I just saw him the other day.
He's not at Atos?
Is he at Atos?
I thought he was.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Atos sounds right. I know he's trained there in the
Trovo's was for sure an Atos guy. Unless you saw something.
He was a Gracie Baja guy, and then he went to Atos, and I thought I just saw him at Six Blades, didn't I?
Oh, really?
Is that Winston Torres?
No, yeah, Winston was there too.
Maybe. I know.
Winston when we were there to shoot the 10 things, Felipe was there. Was he? Yeah, that's where I saw him. Okay. That's right.
Gotcha. I know one thing. Andre Galvao, great at impressions. He doesn't show this to a lot of people, but he'll do it for fun in the gym. He has a great Felipe Trovo impression.
Does he? I don't think I've seen that.
He'll do a Felipe Trovo, which is really funny.
Pretty solid Bernardo Faria in his arsenal as well.
Yeah, he's also got like Caio Terra, Gordon. He's got a lot of them, dude. He just doesn't let the public know, but Andre's great at impressions. Ultra heavy, Roosevelt, returning. Did he win the division and absolute, or second in absolute? Right,
yeah,
Roberto won. Can't remember if he won his division or not. He did. Okay, so returning gold and silver medalist. Helder Jose is a beast. Heike Jusula, I like when Heike Jusula is in the mix. Anderson Kawan, a beast out of Infight, and then Vinny Magalhaes.
I know, dusting him off. Vinny coming back.
We'll see. Vinny always signs up for this stuff, I feel like, and then we never see him.
Well, I'll tell you, this bracket is only 7 people. So if anybody doesn't show, these guys, the bracket could start getting real wonky.
Dang, hearts out for the 2 boys who got left off the preview.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
Might throw them on there just cause.
Well, this is a work in progress still, right?
Yeah, this isn't published.
Yeah.
And then women's rooster.
Speaking of, I think there's only like 1 or 2 girls not listed here.
Lavinia Barbosa is a beast here. Thais Lorera. These names are real hard for a Midwestern guy like me.
I believe it. Whoever wins this division is going to be number 1 in the world, and no one in this division has been number 1 in the world. That's really like even more so than just, obviously being a black belt world champion is like the number 1 thing that they're chasing. But then also on top of that, number 1 world ranking. Right now it is Jennifer Aquino, but she hasn't trained or not. She hasn't competed rather in a year once this tournament hits. So she'll be coming out of the rankings. Whoever wins this, number 1.
Yeah, and
Nice has been kind of the quality of the division so far.
For sure. Women's light feather, we got the Funegra girls in there. Brenda Larissa, Jessie Crane, Yasmin Castro, Josephine Modig. So definitely some cool names there as well. And then women's feather, this is a pretty sick one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Adele, Anna, Tainora Victoria, Beatrice Campos, Maria Luisa, like definitely some sick names.
Dude, Adele versus Anna is a huge match. That's a big match with a lot of implications just in the pound for pound rankings and everything like that as well. Like that's a big match.
100%. We did just rework the women's pound for pound a little bit to take out some people who hadn't competed in a little bit. Especially the pound for pound, I think should be like really reactive to like activity level. So Anna is now ranked in the pound for pound as well. She's like 16th, I believe. I think that these two have trained together, and it feels like Anna is going as far as like her confidence lets her. You know what I mean? That's my read on this match is if she can get into some exchanges and start figuring out how good she is and that she really probably can compete in a lot of these, I think she's going to do really well. But just hearing the way she talked about Adele before, I feel like she has a lot of respect for Adele. And Adele has helped her out with some things before and like shown her the way for a couple of things. So I'm wondering, is there like a big sister, little sister kind of thing? How's that going to play out?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
definitely. Women's light, we got BSM.
This is a sick. Yeah, this is a really good one.
BSM, Margot Ciccarelli, Mo Black, Amanda Bruce, Zara DiTofano, Carolyn Bernazio, Lillian Marchand. Sarah's obviously been making crazy waves since she got her black belt for the Atos Dream Team. And so now Lillian Marchand going to be in the mix, going to be making some waves as well. Jane Fragoso, Natasha Drugan. You got any particular that stand out here for you? I mean, this is a stacked one.
Yeah, this is just a super sick bracket, right? Look at that top line, BSM, Margot, and Mo Black. Any of them could win it. Margot obviously had that run lately at Polaris, where she like won like 6 or 7 matches in a row, and everybody was, a world-class opponent, and she just looked like an unbelievable force out there. And then Mo and BSM met in the finals last year. Mo just won ADCC trials. BSM won Worlds last year. And then, you have people like Amanda Bruce as the 2 seed. She's super tough. She's won some majors for IBJJF No-Gi before. Carolyn Bernaccio scored a bunch of upset wins to make the finals at No-Gi Pants. Awesome bracket.
Definitely. Then women's middle, and Jonna Goodman being in there is pretty sick. And Jonna's kind of been rolling. She's got some steam building here. Liz Clay, always a beast. Julia Boscher, we obviously just saw her at Who's Number One. Saw how tough she still is. Nadia Franklin, Sue LeMay, Beatrice Jen. So definitely sick ones there as well. I see women's medium heavy Helena Cravar now, the clear number 1. She's number 1 pound for pound, right?
She is.
Yeah, number 1 pound for pound. Sala Samola, Ann Svensson, Jessica Tortilla, Giovanna Canero, Agatha. Yeah.
Agatha being that girl who knee-barred Sarah at Brown Belt Worlds this year in the absolute. Very strong girl from Checkmat, I believe it is. This is Helena's weight, something to watch coming in as we get into the next weight class as well. At that same Supervite show that Ash Williams beat Richie B. Nia Blackman scored a really big win over Sala Samola. Sala won No-Gi Worlds last year. On the path to that, she beat Nia first round. So it was a really big win from Nia and a really big improvement. I think it's something I'll be watching out for this weekend as well.
And I saw you talking to Helena, and she said that she's not going to do the absolute division?
She's not going to do the absolute division.
Okay, so.
Why not?
She says she's been competing so much that she wants to focus in her first Black Belt World Championships on just winning her division.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the women's heavy is interesting. Obviously, there's an outlier when you look at this, like Maria Mawiasik, Nia Blackman, Erin Harp, Letitia Teixeira, Caitlin Huggins, and then Cassia Mora,
Is Cassia heavyweight? Is she getting bigger?
Nope.
No?
Yeah, I don't think so.
She's just jumping up.
Going up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got a little bit of that Dante Leon blood.
I guess so.
She's
Female
like,
Dante Leon, huh?
yeah.
I think initially it might have been chasing Helena, to be perfectly honest, and just trying to get a match with the number 1 pound-for-pound girl. But yeah, like I said, man, Cassia's just in this to do shit that nobody thought was possible before. And she's young and she's confident, and it feels like she's somebody who I just haven't seen a good limit for yet. You know what I mean? Like, I talk about Nia Blackman as a favorite in this division, and I think she is. But it was not that long ago that they were both brown belts in the absolute at Brown Belt Worlds, and Cassia beat Nia on her run there. And so she's shown that she can do it. That was in the gi. This is no-gi. I think Cassia can win this bracket. I have to label her as a dark horse because she is still 130 pounds, but she has all the skill to do it.
If she is chasing Helena, like, we could see her switch divisions, right? Or is it past the time? Maybe it's past the time to switch since they already released the brackets. I don't know.
People switch.
Yeah, but
and then women's super heavyweight, of course, we got Gabby Pisania in there holding it down. We just saw her at Who's Number One, so get excited to see some more Gabby Pisania.
Yeah.
She's out there breaking people's ankles left and right, especially at these IBJJFs usually. So
for sure,
100%.
Maya Madelon also crazy performance at trials, so she's in the mix there. But yeah, I mean, overall, super sick divisions at No-Gi Worlds this year. I think it should be dope. I also, obviously we just kind of looked at the black belts, but Joe kind of mentioned earlier some of the sick colored belt divisions and stuff too. So there's going to be good action kind of all week long.
Brown belt might be like the sickest it's ever been, and brown belt might be even better than black belt even.
For sure.
There's some great names in brown belt.
Like brown belt, we're going to see Michael Pixley, Brandon Reed, Nick Hartman, right? Probably. I don't know if they're all registered or not.
Yeah,
but,
I believe they are.
Yep,
but they're all in the mix. Then it's Marlon Tajik, I'm sure, is in there. A bunch of dudes who are just this is going to be some crazy
Tanka,
brown belt scraps. So, yeah, I'm probably maybe most excited for brown belt.
To be honest.
That one's going to be crazy. But
brown belt still does have that college football element where it's but you are going to see these guys murder someone.
Yeah, anything can happen in brown belt still, where it's maybe sometimes things are a little bit more locked up in black belt, but brown belt, anything can happen. So
for sure. All right. Is there anything else we need to talk about before we get out of here, boys?
We kind of mentioned it earlier, but the Lachlan-Marcelo match, shout out to Marcelo Garcia, still, the greatest of all time. This doesn't affect that obviously at all.
Lachlan getting the win.
Getting the win. Incredible for Lachlan. That's got to be, just incredibly gratifying for Lachlan Giles, who's also a great guy in the sport, right? We talk a lot about Lachlan being one of the best guys in the sport, but, Lachlan is, super nice and super accommodating and super helpful and very giving as well and all these things. So it was very cool to see them go out there and do that. Cool to see a technically interesting move come out of it as well. I think that's a big plus. Always nice to see that when you get these high-level minds working to try to solve some of these problems. Why not let it result in a new high-level move?
He's calling it the Locky Lock?
The Locky Lock.
The Locky Lock. I like it.
Lock.
Man, huge props to Lachlan, man. Obviously, that was just a huge match. Anytime you can beat a legend like Marcelo Garcia, it's just going to catapult you. Did he retire afterwards?
I think they're both basically retired.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, I thought I saw something about what a way to go into retirement for Lachlan, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I think Lachlan always said, like, I will only come back for the Marcelo match. Okay, I have the Marcelo match and I'll be done. Okay, I'm done with the Marcelo match. I'm done.
Yeah.
Run it back, you know? But no, a huge win for Lachlan. And yeah, like you guys said, just another great guy in the sport who's been, you know, right there for so long. And we had such a great experience with him at ADCC 2019 when he won and everything like that, or when he was submitting everybody in that bracket, in the absolute bracket. So shout out to Lachlan, man. Just an incredible performance. Just, you know, jiu-jitsu history we watched for sure. So shout out.
Crazy weekend for jiu-jitsu, you know, a lot of events, a lot of sick action, but obviously it doesn't stop. I don't know if it ever stops. It feels like we're in this time warp vacuum of jiu-jitsu, maybe until we die, you know, and we're glad to have you guys at home watching along for the ride. So thank you for tuning into the episode. You know, make sure you watch No-Gi Worlds this week, and we'll see everybody in the next one.